One of those with a view in all of this, I'm sure, the Conservative MP and, of course, former Brexit Secretary David Davis. Mr Davis, great to have you on the programme this morning. Just in terms of the travel aspect of all of this, what do you want to hear from the government, and when do you want to hear it, in terms of whether we should be looking towards foreign climes for a bit of a break this summer?
Well, the first thing to say, Neil, is that I think the government's got to make maximum safe speed on this now. We get us out of this position we're in, which is why I'm going to be one of the critics of the legislation later this week. But on international travel, it's incredibly difficult to make an accurate prediction for a very simple reason. Other countries around Europe, different successes with vaccination rates, different, some of them having a third wave. And so we're going to have to be very sophisticated about the way we approach this. So, for example, we've got a whole range of tools now. We've got quarantine. We've got testing at the airports, which the airport authorities have made available and demonstrated. We have red lists, of course, where we don't allow anybody to come. And that will change over the summer. And I think it's I would say to the government, make maximum safe speed, which means where you can, open up. But there are going to be countries throughout the summer who have setbacks, particularly those who have poor vaccination records. I mean, France is a surprising example, perhaps. Other countries have done much better. Some of the Eastern European countries have done poorly because, frankly, their populations don't naturally trust governments and therefore a bit loath to take vaccination. So you've got a range of things you can use, and we should use them in a sophisticated manner, not heavy-handedly doing one or the other. Use quarantine when necessary, use lockdown when not lockdown, but no travel arrangements where necessary. Use testing pretty much all of the time, I think, in the airports where there's ever a suspicion. That's the approach we should take.
The other aspect, of course, of the debate ongoing on the backbenches, particularly the Conservative backbenches, is what to do come the vote on the extension of the Coronavirus Act restrictions. Where are you on that? The vote due on Thursday, I think.
Well, last year, when they first brought this act in, I pointed out that they had most of the powers in the Act. The difference the Act made was they didn't have to come back to Parliament to get them approved. I mean, take the Civil Contingencies Act, you have to come back in 7 days to get them approved. The 1984 Public Health Act gives you a lot of the powers as well. And my view is that, frankly, it's too big an extension to put it forward yet another 6 months. They should do it much shorter than that, and we should review the issue maybe in 2 or 3 months' time, and then come back again. Throughout this whole pandemic, Parliament has been not powerless, that's unfair, but its powers have been massively limited. And that actually hasn't helped governments make good decisions. If a minister has to come and justify something to the House, his civil servants work just that little bit harder to get it right. And everybody's trying very hard, but we've made quite a few mistakes down the way. And Parliament wants to be able to say yes to this, no to that. That's well balanced, that's sensible, that's over the top. And with this bill in place, there's no pressure on the government to do that. And I think we should limit the length of it.
As someone who has in the past spoken out on occasions where government policy appeared to be impinging on civil liberties, I wonder what you think of what we saw in Bristol last night. Of course, everyone will condemn scenes of violence against police officers and police officers being hospitalised, but in terms of the police crime sentencing in courts bill, should the government be restricting in this way people's right to protest?
Well, I think if the demonstrators were setting, or at least the violent demonstrators, let's be clear, not everybody in the demonstration was violent. I think there were 2 phases to it. But those who went in for violence, burning the police vans on, if they wanted to make the Home Secretary's case about need for powers, they couldn't have done a better job, frankly. It was a disgrace. Everybody thinks it's a disgrace. I don't think anybody is supportive of it. So they did their own cause a great deal of harm. But the simple truth is that the right to demonstrate is a foundation stone of our democracy. I actually think, from memory, that the Home Secretary said something like that in the second reading speech. And on the basis of that, I voted for the bill, but only on the basis that we understand that. And I think there's going to be a great deal of pressure on the government not to scrap the bill. That's ridiculous. This bill's got very important powers in it in terms of enforcing the law, but to pay great attention to the protection of the right to demonstrate peacefully. And we're just talking peacefully here. Protects the right to demonstrate peacefully, and we'll want to see by the report stage, which is the sort of last time of amending the bill, some extra protections, I think, in there. And that will be the sensible way to do it. But I have to tell you, the people who were burning police vehicles yesterday and injuring policemen, I gather broken bones and God knows what happened, then they have not helped the cause at all. Not at all. Not one iota.
David Davis, good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being with us.
I think.